After a grueling week of meetings in Chicago, my mind is still buzzing with endless discussions about quarterly profits and market forecasts. My suitcase feels heavier than usual. I walk through the front door of our house, a familiar sanctuary that now feels strangely empty. I call out Sarah's name. I am back. My voice echoes through the air, unanswered. A quiet dread settles in my stomach. Sarah's outing with friends is not unusual, but something feels off. I dismiss the feeling and place my suitcase near the staircase. Looking around the living room, everything is in its proper place except Sarah. I walk into the kitchen, hoping to find a note or some leftovers. My gaze is drawn to her cell phone, which is lying on the table. As I approach, the screen flickers to life. My heart races for no apparent reason other than a nagging feeling that something is wrong. I pick it up, pause for a moment, and decide to check the messages. I shouldn't, but curiosity gnaws at me, a familiar desire that draws me in. The notifications scroll across the screen, several of which come from an unknown number. My breathing quickens as I open the thread. I can't wait to see you again tonight. One message reads. Another follows. You looked fantastic last time. I wish I could hold you right now. My stomach turns as I read the words and my fingers tremble slightly as I scroll through the messages. Everyone is more intimate than the last. I pause, surrounded by flirtatious banter and veiled promises. I felt blood rush to my head as I came across a photo. A candid photo of Sarah. Her smile was radiant, with a look of pure joy on her face. The following one is more explicit. I dropped the phone on the table, my mind racing as I reviewed the messages. She would not. I whisper, trying to convince myself that this must be a mistake. The door swings open, and Sarah enters. Her face lights up when she sees me. "James, you're at home," she exclaims, her arm extended for a hug. But I cannot move. I stand there, rooted in place, the phone messages swirling through my mind. "Hey, comma," I manage to say with a tight voice. "Where were you?" "Oh, just out with some friends," she says. Her smile fades as she sees my expression. "What is wrong?" "Nothing," I say too fast. "Only your phone was on the table." Her gaze shifts to the phone, and I can see tension building in her posture. "I didn't realize I had left it there, she says, with a slight edge to her voice. "Have you looked at it?" "Some of it," I admit. My heart is pounding. "It appears that you have been quite busy." "Busy?" she echoes, her eyes filled with confusion. "Are you busy texting someone?" "Someone I do not know." I speak, my voice rising slightly. "Someone who appears to know you very well." Her face loses color, and for a brief moment I believe she is about to cry. "James, I can explain." She stammers, her hands clenched into fists. "Please explain what I am demanding." Frustration boiled over. "How long has it been going on?" "Sarah? How long have you cheated on me? I did not intend for it to happen," she pleaded. Tears welled in her eyes. "It was a mistake, I promise. You're constantly away on business. Don't give me that excuse," I snap. My rage is spilling over. "You could have spoken to me." "You could have. I was lonely." She burst out, her voice breaking. "You do not understand what it is like to be alone, waiting for you to return home. So this is your solution? To seek comfort in the arms of another man?" I ask, incredulously, lacing my words. "I never intended to hurt you. She cries and takes a step toward me. "Please listen." "No, you listen to me." I cut her off. My heart is racing. "You've made your decisions, and now I'm going to make mine." Sarah's face contorts in a combination of fear and desperation, and I know I must act. I can no longer let her manipulate me with her tears and excuses. I get a sudden rush of clarity as a plan forms in my head, one that will ruin her life just as she has mine. "James, please," she whispers, her voice low and trembling. "I will do anything to make things right. But it is too late. The damage has been done, and I am not the one who needs to make amends. You don't get to make that decision anymore," I say coldly. "We are done." As I turn away, I can hear her sobbing behind me, echoing through the empty space of our once happy home. I grab my suitcase and rush out the door, leaving her behind, the weight of betrayal heavy on my heart. In that moment, I realize that this isn't simply the end of our marriage. The start of something much darker. I won't simply walk away. I will make her regret what she did. I will ruin her, just as she has ruined me. The thought sends a rush of adrenaline through me. And as I step outside into the cool evening air, a new sense of purpose emerges within me. This is only the beginning. The sun sets lower on the horizon as I drive aimlessly through the familiar streets. The weight of betrayal was heavy on my chest. My phone constantly buzzes in the passenger seat, but I ignore it. Sarah is probably trying to apologize or explain herself. I do not want to hear it. Not now. I pull into the parking lot of a small bar on the outskirts of town, where I used to hang out with friends. The neon sign flickers, casting an inviting glow that contrasts starkly with the turmoil within me. As I walk in, the familiar aroma of beer and fried food surrounds me, and the sound of laughter and clinking glasses fills the room. "James," a deep voice calls from the bar. Mike, my old college buddy, is nursing a drink at the counter. I wave and make my way over, looking for a distraction. "What's up, man?" he asks, his brow furrowing as he observes my expression. "You look like you saw a ghost." "Just returned from a trip," I say, trying to sound casual that it has been an eventful time. "Eventful? How?" He presses and leans in closer. I hesitate for a moment. The weight of my situation is pulling at me. But Mike has always been an attentive listener, and I need to vent. I found out that my wife is cheating on me. His eyes widened with shock. "What? Seriously?" "I'm very sorry, man, that's rough." "Yeah, things get worse," I continue, keeping my voice low. "I discovered explicit messages on her phone. Pictures, the whole thing." "Damn," Mike says, shaking his head. "What are you planning to do?" I am not sure yet. I admit to swirling the ice in my glass, but I want to make her pay for it. She thinks she can simply betray me and walk away. Mike nods, his expression becoming serious. "You cannot simply sit back and let this happen. You must take control of the situation." "I understand," I respond. A spark ignites within me. I simply need to figure out how. As we speak, the door swings open, and a group of rowdy men walk in, their laughter echoing as they take their seats at the corner table. One of them catches my attention. It's Tony, an old high school friend known for his reckless behavior and connections. I recall how he always seemed to find a way to get what he wanted, regardless of the consequences. "Hello, I'll be right back," I tell Mike, pushing back from the bar. I make my way over to Tony's table, where he is animatedly recounting a story in front of his friends. "Tony," I call out to get his attention. "Do you mind if I join you, James?" "What's up, man?" He grins, motioning for me to take a seat. "What brought you here?" "I just had a really bad day," I say, cutting to the chase. "I need a favor." Tony raises an eyebrow, intrigued. "What type of favor?" "I have to make someone's life miserable." I speak bluntly. "My wife cheated on me and I seek vengeance. I know you know some people." He chuckles and leans back in his chair. "You're talking about serious business here. Are you certain you want to go down that road?" "Absolutely," I respond with my voice steady. I want her to feel the pain she's caused me. I want her to regret every moment she spent with that man. Tony considers me for a moment before nodding. "All right. I can help you, but it will cost you." "I don't care about the money," I say, my desperation evident. "Simply tell me what you need." "Let's begin with some intel," he says, leaning in closer. "I'll need to know who this guy is, where they've been meeting, and whatever dirty little secrets I can uncover. Trust me, I can make it happen." I nod. Determination flooded my veins. "I can get you that information. Please give me some time." "Good," Tony replies with a smirk on his lips. "I will ensure that you get what you want. Remember, once you start, there is no turning back." I understand. As I leave Tony's table, a mix of excitement and fear swirls through my mind. I can feel the weight of my decisions sinking in. This is not just about vengeance. It is about reclaiming my life. I return to the bar and rejoin Mick, who has been closely watching me. "What is the plan?" he asks. I notice a shift in my demeanor. "I have a way to get back at Sarah." I respond, my voice low but steady, "and I will make sure she pays for what she has done. Just take care, man," Mike warns, concern on his face. "You are playing a dangerous game." "I understand," I say. My resolve is hardening. But I'm done being a victim. It's time she faced the consequences of her actions. As the night wears on, I outline my strategy for making each detail more exciting than the last. With each word, I can feel the rage and betrayal fueling my resolve. "Are you really prepared for this?" he asks, his voice tinged with disbelief. "More than prepared," I respond, a fire starting within me. This is only the beginning. As I leave the bar, my mind is racing with possibilities. I can't wait to put my plan into action and watch Sarah realize the consequences of her betrayal. With Tony by my side, I am confident that I have the resources to turn this situation to my advantage. Tomorrow, I'll start gathering the information I need, and once I have it, nothing will stop me. The thrill of vengeance runs through my veins, and I can already imagine the sweet satisfaction of seeing her world crumble. In that moment, I realize I am no longer the man who was wronged. I am the man who will ensure that she never forgets what she has done. Now is the time to seek justice, and I'm prepared for the battle ahead. The next morning dawns with a heavy overcast, mirroring the storm brewing within me. I awaken early, a rush of adrenaline coursing through my veins. Today is the day I begin gathering information, the first step in my plan to exact revenge on Sarah. I grab my phone. My mind races as I plan out my next moves. After a quick breakfast, I head to my home office where I open my laptop and conduct a web search. I need to find out everything I can about the man Sarah has been seeing. The messages hinted at a deep and secretive relationship, and I want to know who I'm up against. As I type, I can't stop thinking about Sarah's expression when I confronted her. The combination of fear and regret still stings. She made her decision, I remind myself. They're stealing my resolve. Now it is my turn. I spend the next few hours scouring social media, looking through mutual friends' profiles, and piecing together any connections that might lead me to this mystery man. Finally, I come across a photograph of Sarah from a party. Her arm was wrapped around someone unfamiliar. The caption reads, "Good times with friends." The photo does, however, convey an undeniable intimacy. I zoom in, hoping to get a better look at his face, but it is too blurry. Frustrated, I reach for my phone and call Tony. "Hello, it's James. I need your assistance again. What up?" he responds, his voice relaxed. "I found a photo of Sarah with a guy, but I can't tell who he is. I need you to use your magic and figure out who this is." "Send me the photo," he replies. "I'll get some people on board. Let's see what we can find." "Thank you, man. I appreciate it," I say, already feeling relieved by Tony's connections. I know he'll dig in the dirt. I need to send the image. My phone vibrates again. It's Sarah. My heart skips a beat, but I dismiss it. I can't let her kind words or desperate pleas distract me. Now. After a few hours, I decided to take a break. I step out. The chill in the air awakened my senses. I wandered to a small park near our house where Sarah and I used to walk together. The memories are bittersweet, but I shake them away. Concentrate on the task at hand. Suddenly, I notice Mike jogging toward me. He slows down with a smile on his face. "Hey, nice to see you here. You appear deep in thought." I explain that I'm just dealing with some issues. My voice clicked, still working on the revenge thing. He asks, gently nudging me. I admit it, and I'm gathering information on the guy. "Good. You must be aware of who your opponents are." He replies, nodding. "What is the plan?" "I'm going to find out everything about him, including where he works and where he hangs out. Once I have that, I will decide how to proceed." "That sounds risky." Mike responds by raising an eyebrow. "But if anyone can do it, it's you." I appreciate it. I say this as the tension in my shoulders eases slightly. It just seems like everything is moving so quickly. "Just take it one step at a time," Mike suggests. "You will get there." After our conversation, I return home. The weight of the world is still on my shoulders. I sit back down at my laptop and check my email. Tony hasn't responded yet, but I'm confident he will. A few minutes later, my phone vibrates again. This time, it's a text from Tony. "Have you got a lead? Meet me on the dock at 7 p.m. I look at the clock. It is only noon. As I mentally prepare for the evening ahead, I feel a mix of excitement and anxiety. After a long and agonizing wait, evening has finally arrived. I dress casually but sharply, hoping to project confidence as I enter the bar. The dock is a lively place full of conversation and laughter. The sound of clinking glasses echoed throughout the room. I scanned the crowd and noticed Tony at a table in the corner. His usual relaxed demeanor was replaced with intensity. He calls out, "James," and waves me over. I slide into the seat across from him. "Did you learn who he is?" I inquire, my pulse quickening. "Yeah," Tony responds, leaning closer. "His name is Mark. He works in marketing. Freelance?" Apparently, I dug a little deeper, and it turns out he has been in and out of relationships for a while. He's been known to switch from one woman to another. Anger wells up inside me. "So he is a player?" "That seems to be the case," Tony confirms. "But there is more. He has a reputation for being charming and getting what he wants, and he has been spotted with Sarah at least 3 times in the last month. 3 times? I clench my fists. That's more than I expected. Tony leans back, smirking. I also learned the location of one of their most recent meetups. They went to that new Italian restaurant downtown last Friday. You might want to pay a visit. Damn, I mutter, my thoughts racing. I need to confront him. Not yet, Tony warns, raising his hand. You have to play this smartly. Don't go in with guns blazing. You need to collect more evidence first. Fine, I say, frustration bubbling beneath the surface, but I want him to feel the heat. Believe me, you will, Tony assures me. Let me handle the intel for now. We can schedule a meeting so you can catch them in the act. The thought thrills me, and I can feel the anticipation building. Okay, let's do it. I say this with determination in my voice. As the night progresses, we strategize, laying the groundwork for what lies ahead. I can feel the pieces falling into place, and I am more determined than ever to make Sarah and Mark regret their decisions. As I leave the dock, my mind is filled with thoughts and emotions. The plan is coming together, and I'll soon have the opportunity to confront the betrayal head-on. I understand this is only the beginning. The storm I unleashed is only getting stronger. I can't wait to see how it all turns out. Revenge is more than just a dish best served cold. It's a fire that is about to start. And I'm prepared to watch everything burn. The next week drags on like molasses, each day stretching out as I wait for Tony to provide the final details of my strategy. The anticipation and anxiety bubble within me, making it difficult to focus on anything else. I can't shake the feeling that the confrontation with Sarah and Mark is approaching, and I'm prepared to face the truth head-on. Finally, night arrives. Tony texts me. Tonight is the night. Meet me at the restaurant at 8 p.m. My heart races as I prepare. The adrenaline is coursing through my veins. This is it. This is the moment I have been waiting for. I arrive at the Italian restaurant, a cozy space with soft lighting and the rich aroma of garlic and basil wafting through the air. I notice Tony at a corner table scanning the room. He nods as I approach, and I take the seat across from him. Do you know if they've arrived yet? I inquire, attempting to keep my voice steady. They should arrive soon. Tony responds, his eyes darting to the entrance. I'm keeping an eye on the door. The minutes pass, and each one feels like an eternity. My thoughts swirl as I recall everything Sarah has put me through, the betrayal and lies, the way she shattered our life together. Sarah walks in, her laughter sounding like a siren's call. Mark follows closely behind her, his arm casually wrapped around her waist. My heart sinks as I watch them, but I quickly push through the pain. This is not about me anymore. It's about confronting them both and making them understand the consequences of their actions. Tony whispers, "Here they come," and I sit up straight in my chair. My heartbeat quickens as they settle into a booth across the room. Sarah leans in to mark her eyes, which are sparkling with excitement. I exchange a glance with Tony, who nods encouragingly. Go get them, champ. I stand up and walk purposefully toward them. The restaurant is alive with conversation, but all I can hear is my heart pounding in my ears as I approach. I took a deep breath. I'm ready to unleash the storm I've been holding inside. Sarah, I call out, my voice breaking through the background noise. She looks up. Her smile fades as she acknowledges my presence. James, she stammers, shock visible on her face. What are you doing here? Are you having dinner? I respond with sarcasm dripping from my words. But it appears that you two are having a little date night. Mark straightens up, a smug grin on his face. Hello, man. I didn't think you'd mind if we borrowed your wife for a while. Wife? Is that what you're calling her now? I shoot back, rage rising to the surface. She has been unfaithful, and you're just a pathetic excuse for a man. Whoa, calm down, Mark says mockingly. You sound a bit bitter. Perhaps you should look in the mirror. That's impressive coming from you, I snap. You are the one who should feel ashamed of himself. Sarah. How could you do this to me? Her face twists in confusion and shame, and I catch a glimpse of regret. James, please let me explain. What exactly are you explaining? How you have lied to me, how you have betrayed everything we have created together, I demand, my voice raised. Do you think I'd like to hear your excuses? Let her speak, Mark interrupts, his arrogance spilling over. You no longer have control over her life. Control? I scoff, taking a step closer to him. Do you think this is about control? I am here because I care about her. Unlike you, a hush falls over the restaurant, and I notice that other customers have turned to watch the scene unfold. I can feel the heat rising in my cheeks, but I will not back down. James, please, Sarah pleaded, her voice trembling. I did not intend for any of this to happen. I did not intend for it to happen. My tone is laced with incredulity. Do you think that makes things okay? You chose this. You chose him over me. I was lonely, she admits, her eyes welling up with tears. You were always away on business, and all I wanted was someone who would be there for me. So this was your solution? To sleep with a stranger. I retort, my heart pounding from betrayal. Mark stands up with a smug smile on his face. You are pathetic, James. Simply face it. She is happier with me. Happier? I laugh bitterly. Do you think she's happy now? This is what you consider happiness. I am done with this, Sarah snaps, her voice rising as anger overtakes her earlier regret.